So, all right, my friends. So next up, we're going to check out a story out of Florida about a wholesaler who, well, it's actually about a homeowner who wholesaled his home to an investor, and he feels like he got gypped. But if you dive into the story, you start to peel back the layers and seem to find out that it's a good deal, a good wholesale deal by the person that the newscasters are accusing of being a bad person. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to review one of my favorite podcasters, Anton Daniels, as he reviews this story. And we're going to review his review because he had the opportunity to bring the young man that the story is about up on his platform so he could dispute what the news story was saying. And not only that, he got the opportunity to speak to another young gentleman out of Florida that had said some disparaging things about him because of the news story, and they were able to squash their beef. And Anton Daniels was a great mediator in that situation, and that's what kind of men that we as people need in the world, that can not push us apart but bring us together. And that's the kind of world we really need today. So we're going to check out this story. Please check out Anton Daniels. He's a fantastic podcaster. He has a couple of fantastic podcasts. So, but let's check this out.
A home in Florida doesn't have to be as complicated as you think. You can actually transfer ownership just by signing a special deed and having it notarized.
People usually do that in cases of divorce or giving a home to their relatives, but beware of potential scams to cheat you. Investigative reporter Terry Parker here to explain how the same process can make you vulnerable to unknowingly signing away your home. Terry?
Todd and Felicia, that's what a senior homeowner in Fort Pierce says happened to him.
I'm reading super chats throughout the show. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat.
According to court documents, he signed away his home for $10. Now he's being evicted and has no place to go. I looked into his story to see how it happened.
Let me read this really quickly. Gigi says, hey Anton, I sent you a DM on this story because the person they are painting to be the bad guy is my boyfriend. Okay. And the story was painted wrong. I was there and have the facts. Carlton has the facts. Hey, Gigi, if your boyfriend want to come on the show, let me know and I'll drop the link in the description and he'll be able to come up and defend himself. How about that? Let me check my DM before I even play this, because I'm a cool dude. See, for me, it's not just about, I didn't know he's your boyfriend. If he wants to come up on the panel in order to have this conversation with me, I'm going to drop the link for you, okay? Just tell him to come up.
See, and Anton's a cool dude. So, and of course, this is the beauty of it. We have a news story that's going to paint somebody in a negative light, and if it wasn't for Anton Daniels, this young gentleman would not have any opportunity to dispute what the news story is saying. And he even said that he contacted them and they still made him pay that black tax and put him on blast like he was the bad party. So what we're going to do, we're going to move ahead to when he brings the young gentleman up. That's where it really starts. So let's check it out.
Let's see. What up, big dog? Turn down the stuff in the background. Turn down the stuff in the background. You turn it down. All right, cool.
Turn that down. My bad.
Let me move it.
All right, we turn it down.
All right, big dog. What's happening? Is Carlton?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
I see you, Carlton, with the good hair over there.
Hey, man, it's in my DNA. That's all I can say. My daddy and my granddaddy blessed me.
Yo, Carlton, man, they out here killing your name, big dog.
Yeah, hey, 100, man. Thanks for letting me come on. I mean, you could play the story, or we could go through it together. And I just let me just say this: the news let me talk on this story for about 20 seconds, I literally, when we met, I talked for 5 minutes. They aired none of my side of the story. So,
all right, so I'm gonna play the story.
and-
I'm gonna play the story, and then I'm gonna let you come back and then be able to say whatever it is that you want to say as a result of it. Okay?
Okay, rebut everything. That's cool.
Yep. All right, bet. So I'm gonna minimize this, I'm gonna maximize this, and then I'm gonna play the story, and then you can come back and say what you want to say.
Okay.
Claude Fry is selling his mother's trinkets in his driveway, hoping to make a little cash. So you consider this your home?
Yes.
After 23 years of living here, Fry is being evicted because somehow Fry signed over the deed to his house for a mere $10, a house that just sold to a third buyer for $185,000.
Like I said, everybody's just been taking advantage of me because I'm just that kind of nice guy, you know.
Neighbor Vince Erico says when he found out Fry was being evicted, he looked up the property records.
There's definitely something wrong there. And he gets nothing. I think he got $1,500.
In 2020, Fry's mom died, and he says he got behind in the mortgage.
I would have never probably got behind so bad if it wasn't for my mom dying and me being the only one here. And I took it really
Now,
hard.
Carlton, before I continue to play this, what you doing business with people with no teeth?
Bro, you gotta, hey, you an investor, bro. You gotta get the deals how they come, man. But
All right, hold on. Let me finish playing the video.
Carlton is so right. Being a licensed real estate agent and a wholesaler, if you're doing wholesale businesses, you are dealing with a sector of people who are really looking to sell their homes and make money really quickly. And that's how you get a good wholesale deal, is to find people who in some cases are in like a bind or need money quickly, and that's how wholesale deals get done. So this young gentleman or old gentleman or whatever kind of gentleman this is your common wholesale seller. So let's get back to it.
All right, let me finish playing the video. We're going to come through, Carlton. Hold on.
The bank foreclosed, and Fry asked a man he knew for help. He says in 2021, Thomas Brinson promised to take over the mortgage payments. So Fry signed a deed transferring the property to Brinson for $10. And Brinson would let Fry live in his house. But later, court filings would say that Fry didn't realize what he was signing.
Once I signed paper, and I didn't realize that gave him the right to sell it. And evict me.
Brinson says the house and Fry were a headache, too much stress and money. So 6 months later, Brinson signed the house over to Carlton Darville, a real estate investor. Darville won't say how much he paid Brinson. This recorded deed shows a payment of $10 and other good and valuable consideration. Then in December 2022, Darville flipped the house, selling it for $185,000 to a New York-based LLC, according to county records. When Fry hadn't vacated by January 25th, the new owner filed for eviction. Fry's neighbor, Erica, responded to the eviction complaint on Fry's behalf. He wrote to the court that Fry is a mentally disabled senior citizen who had been coerced into quit claiming his home, adding that Fry was lied to about the paperwork for the deed transfer.
So this is the neighbor that's saying this.
which is illegal, yeah, illegal. The neighbor, yeah, totally illegal.
All right, so let me go ahead, because the video ain't that long, so it's only a little bit more.
And really had no idea he was signing away his home. Erico's court filing does not specify the persons responsible for this alleged coercion and lying.
He could have at least put the house up for sale, priced it cheap, and at least got something. Now he's got nothing.
The man who purchased the home from Brinson and made a big
Woo! Look at that swag. They got you coming out with the shirt all pressed up. You got your chain on.
Yeah. Hey, you know I was marketing, bro. That's my YouTube channel. I was marketing at the same time. So
okay, I got you.
Carlton Darville says he did nothing wrong.
It might seem a little murky, but that's the nature of our business.
Darville says
Carlton, that was the only real mistake I seen today was you making that statement that the situation was murky. Bruh, you don't tell nobody that what you're doing is murky, because they can use that against you. But let's continue.
If he hadn't come along, the bank would have foreclosed on Brinson and evicted Fry anyway. After purchasing the property from Brinson, Darville gave Fry $1,500 on January 1st to turn over the keys, with another $1,500 if Fry vacated the house by January 18th, which Fry did not do.
But ethically,
Yes.
are you doing the right thing, Carlton?
Ethically, I'm 100% clear because, again, I never coerced.
I will say, let me say this before you even start talking. I will say that
All right.
I don't like it when they chop up content, because then it removes the entire context behind what it is that you were saying. And that's why I'm glad that you're here, because I want to get your perspective on the whole thing. But I do see that they started chopping up what it is that you said in between in order to be able to make their story. But let me finish.
And that's one of the horrible things about news stories, or about any, broadcast speaking about something that has to, chop it up for any reason, time constraints or whatever. You lose some parts of the story, you lose some parts of the feeling of the story, and people like Carlton don't get an opportunity to say their side of the story. And the story ends up being one-sided, just like this story is, because this story is completely paints Carlton in a completely negative way, and come to find out he was pretty on the up and up.
Let me go ahead and play the rest of this.
Absolutely.
Mr. Fry, I never swindled him, never forced him. He wasn't incoherent when he signed the deed over to whoever.
Last month, the court ordered that Fry's eviction may move forward, finding there was no evidence of wrongdoing. Darville says Fry should have consulted a lawyer.
But the crucial mistake, the unwise, bad decision that Claude made in 2021, he signed it away.
And now Fry has some advice.
Don't sign anything until you're sure, or have a lawyer look into it. I didn't have a lawyer, he did.
All right, so.
Yes, sir.
All right, so this,
In his court filing, Erica wrote to the judge that the case is currently under an investigation. When asked about this, the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office provided us with a redacted police report regarding a possible fraud case, but said since it's ongoing, they can't comment. No charges.
All right, so, all right. Based off of this and what's being said on this, they saying that it's not necessarily illegal what you did, but it's not necessarily ethical either. All right, so now it's your opportunity. You got the floor. You can say whatever it is that you want to say when you want to say it.
Okay, so again, I thank you for bringing me on, man. But legally, I'm just gonna state all the legal facts because my attorney is working on this as we currently speak. We going after the news reporter, and it's a bunch of gurus on Instagram and on YouTube putting out the story 100% false, saying I stole the house for $10. All right, let's start with some facts that they totally left out. Mm-hmm. When Mr. Fry was evicted, he did not own the home. That's fact number one. Fact number two, I didn't do any legal dealings or transaction with Mr. Fry. I purchased the house from another investor.
Okay, so wait a minute. Let's start on the first one. So you said when he was evicted, he didn't own the home.
No, he signed away his house June 2021.
But he signed it. Okay, so you the wholesaler.
I was wholesaling the deal, but guess what? I did not end up wholesaling. I actually purchased it with hard money.
Okay, so you had a hard money loan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for the people in the audience, I want to bring them up to speed because these are terms that you and I understand because I'm in a real estate, you in a real estate, but the general audience may not necessarily understand. So explain wholesaling to the audience because for a lot of people, they just say it's a middleman, right? Explain wholesaling to the audience so that they can better understand what it is that you're saying.
So essentially, you are a middleman in a transaction. So if I'm the wholesaler, for instance, like this house, I wanted to wholesale it, but once I got all the facts, I'm like, no, the better play is to buy it and resell it as the actual owner. So
wholesaling. So let me try because we got to get a C student's perspective, right? So wholesaling in a nutshell, right, is finding real estate opportunities for people that then have the capital to be able to complete this real estate opportunity, and then you make profitability based off of that, correct? In a general,
yes, sir.
So what you're saying is that you were wholesaling, so you found the deal, but then instead of you wholesaling it for somebody else to do the deal, you did the deal yourself by taking out a hard money loan. Now, for people that don't know about hard money loans, it's much different than a traditional mortgage. A hard money loan is a loan with a much higher interest rate, and you usually take out a hard money loan either for construction or to get things done on the house or to make a quick deal. But then you turn over that deal much quicker so that you can pay off the difference of the hard money loan, and then you keep the rest of it from a profitability perspective, correct?
That is a perfect explanation of wholesaling real estate. Wholesaling, astro flipping, it's all pretty much based on the idea that you're going to buy a home that you're really not going to keep in your portfolio very long. You're going to flip it per se and sell it to another person for, hopefully substantially more than you paid for it, which why home renovation comes in, where people will buy a house for really cheap because it's in distress and a bad looking home. They'll renovate it and then they'll sell it for a much higher cost because it's renovated and new. It looks great. Some people will buy a home, and in cases where they're buying a home, they buy it even if it's distressed, and they try, the idea is to get it for an extremely cheaper price than market value, and then sell it to somebody else to as close to market value as possible. And that difference is your profit from selling that home. Great way to make money quickly. If you can find people who are ready to sell their homes, you can get it done in 30 days or less. Don't have to have a real estate license to do it. So lots of people are trying to do it nowadays, and it's important to note that in most cases they're selling these homes to businesses or corporations that have endless amounts of money. So that's how people are coming up off of this. But it's slowing down. People are realizing that home ownership is better than selling to make a couple bucks, but it will always be there because there will always be people that need money. Let's get back to it.
100%.
Okay, so you saying that you found the deal from a wholesaling perspective, and then instead of doing a deal like with a buyer, you decided to do the deal yourself by taking out a hard money loan in order to secure the property.
Yeah, because here's what happened. In the beginning, you said I found a deal, which is key. When I found a deal, you said I found the seller, right? The seller was not Claude. I found the actual investor who got the property from him in 2021.
So you never found him?
No, I met Claude. This is how I met Claude. I met Claude the day.
Claude is the guy that ain't had no teeth in the thing, right?
Yeah, Claude is the guy with no teeth. So I met Claude the day I met the investor at the house to walk the property to assess the repairs. That's the day I met Claude.
So Claude had already did a deal.
He had did a deal a year and a half ago.
Before you even came into the picture.
There you go. So I had.
So who was the investor? So the investor is the person that got it for $10, or that basically got it for $10, man.
And see, that needs to be stated too. He didn't get it for $10. He got it from Claude. I don't know what the agreement was. He told me the story. I don't know if it's true or not, but they had an agreement. He let Claude live there for free. I have to throw out this fact. The reason why he reached out to this investor is because he was abusing drugs. And this is what happens on the regular. He needed money to save his home from foreclosure. And that's what that investor did. So you can say it was he took over the mortgage payments, but it wasn't a traditional subject to. He just kind of did it organically because Claude was in the jam and was about to get evicted in 2020. So the
investor paid off the mortgage, did a quick claim deed.
There you go.
Investor paid off the mortgage, did a quick claim deed. I'm putting the puzzle together, right?
Yep.
He said, Claude, I'm gonna let you live here, but I'm gonna save the mortgage. Claude was abusing drugs, according to the person, right?
Yep.
You came along and from a wholesaling perspective, interacting with the investor, and you never even interacted with Claude in the first place?
No, the only time I interacted with Claude is when I found out that the investor actually owned the house, because we had to go through the probate to make probate documents to make sure Claude actually signed it over 100%, because of his ownership. He had an inheritance. It wasn't his house. It was his mom's house. So we had to verify he did have 100% ownership. Once that was verified, the other investor said, I'm ready to let it go. Claude is a headache. He don't listen. He had other legal things going on. He needed some cash, and the house was about to get auctioned for the second time. So
the investor was losing the house.
He was going to lose the house and get nothing.
And so that's when you came in and you said, all right, cool. I got a deal. So
and that's what happened.
You don't have to disclose this information, right? How much did you do the deal for?
So
you don't have to
I got the house. I'm not going to disclose it. I'm not going to disclose it because it's going through legal action with the news channel, because they defamed me the way they chopped it up with the clickbait title about Florida man buys house for $10. That's not what happened.
Yeah.
I bought the house from the first investor for an agreed amount on a quick claim deed.
So basically, you took over complete control of the property, and you got ownership, and whatever it is that they set up, or however it is that he found him, or whatever, so on and so forth, they ain't had nothing to do with you.
Exactly, bro. So once I got ownership, guess what I did? I said, wait a minute. I was going to wholesale this to my buddy, because I have a partner in the game. But I said, nah, bro, let's do it this way. I'm going to buy the house, and we'll do a real transaction. I'll sell it to you for the low, and at a lower price. I don't have to give you the wholesale price. And I'll make a nice amount of money, and you still going to have enough meat on the bone, because I wholesaled it to him.
Yeah.
To the third guy.
Yep.
So that's
honestly, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I don't see, based off of what you're telling me, I don't see anything wrong.
Thank you.
I don't either. And the big thing is that any fight that Claude has with anybody, of course, is going to be with the guy he signed papers with. It's not Carlton. It's somebody else. So any responsibility for Claude, or for what Claude's going through, or for what Claude did, or what didn't happen to Claude, is with the first investor. So I don't see Carlton being held responsible for pretty much anything. But let's continue.
And
I'm gonna be real, because you know me. I straight up will hold people accountable and things like that. And I'm gonna still give people the game, or maybe you can even give people the game. But if you found the deal from the investor that was losing a house, whatever Carlton had going on, because he was, a drug addict and he was losing the house in the first place, and he had already did the deal with the investor that you then did a deal with because he was losing the house, that ain't got nothing to do with you.
Exactly. Now check this part out. Claude was still living there, and I, as a perk, or as to make it convenient for the first investor, I said, don't worry about Claude, bro. Right now, he's legally just a holdover tenant. I'll handle him. So that's where you get the $1,500 from at the end. I was giving him cash for keys, a term in the real estate investment world.
Yeah.
Cash for
you
keys.
actually was looking out for it.
Cash for keys, a real common thing that happens when there's tenants in homes that have just been sold and they're been living there for quite some time and they are reluctant to leave. It's just a way to try to incentivize the tenant to leave the home, so just less headache in the future. Let's continue.
Come on, man, and check this out. The first night I met with Claude, I said, Claude, we're gonna get a date together to get you out, because you've had this pending foreclosure for almost 6 months now, and I came and I paid off the debt. We satisfied the bank. So I'm gonna still give you some time. I'm gonna work with you. I offer him $5,000. I had $5,000 in my pocket right there. He was there being counseled by his boyfriend, and his boyfriend said, don't do it.
No, not the boyfriend.
His boyfriend said, don't do it. So guess what? We left that night.
Carlton, that wasn't the boyfriend telling you not to do it. That was God. God did not want you to waste that kind of bread on this situation. So, praise God that he decided to speak through this crackhead's boyfriend and not take your money that is now still in your pocket. Let's continue.
Hey, Carlton, hold on.
Well, I'm giving the facts though, bro. They want the real. That's why I say all these damn gurus on social media don't even know the damn fucking story, bro. Goddamn facts. And I know you shouted out Real Estate Trapper, but he was defaming me on that damn YouTube video. I
didn't know. I just seen the video. I said,
no. I'm talking about Real Estate Trapper, not you.
No. I understand what you're saying. I said I didn't know that you had a disagreement with him.
Bro, I seen the video. I'm like, come on, bro. How you just gonna blatantly say I scammed him for $10? You don't know the whole story, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So check it out. That night, I had the addendum. I'm like, Claude, sign the agreement, bro.
Hold on, wait, Carlton. How you know it was his boyfriend?
Oh, because I'm gonna tell you how. The first investor had like a personal relationship with him. So when I called him when I left the house, I said, yeah, this black dude with dreads was there and was like counseling him. He said, oh, that's his boyfriend. So that's what the first investor told me. So allegedly that was his boyfriend. Let me throw that out there. Allegedly that was his boyfriend. But that's the first investor.
Hold on. Hey, Trapper, I see you in the chat, big dog. Trapper, if you want to come up, you are more than willing to be able to do so.
Yeah.
You are. Listen, I'm gonna just put the link in. This is only for the Real Estate Trapper. Nobody else.
And this, my friends, is why I found it really, really important to do the review of this situation through Anton Daniels, because he took this opportunity to bring two young black men together who were about to have a discrepancy between them, and he solved it. He mediated it. He got them to talking so they could see each other's point of view, got to see who the real bad guy was, and got two gentlemen who live in a certain area close to each other back on the same page, even to the point where they might even have the ability to work with each other later on. The great thing about Anton. Let's finish checking it out. Matter of fact, we're gonna move forward to when the Trapper comes on real quickly. Not the Trapper, who was that for? Alright. Okay.
And I said Terry.
That's the news reporter guy?
Yes, Terry Parker. That's her right there. I said Terry, just be clear.
Hold on. I'm about to pull Trap up.
Okay.
What up, Trap?
Hey, what's going on?
Yo, you know I'm a fan of yours, right? I love what you do, bro.
Oh yeah, I love what you do too, man. I watch all your videos.
Thanks, man. Listen, I wanted to give an opportunity for y'all to. Now you know I stood up for you, Trap. And I said, listen, he can't hold you accountable for reacting to what it is that you've seen on the news. And so he said, you know what, that might be true. What are your thoughts on this? I want to give y'all an opportunity because I prefer for good people, you know what I'm saying, to have good conversation and work together, and it may be a misunderstanding. But I want to give you an opportunity to be able to speak your piece too, bro.
Oh, you want me to go first?
I mean, however y'all want to have it. I'm just leaving the floor.
No. Okay, hey, bro. Real Estate Trapper. I don't know your real name, bro. But look, no hard feelings. And I apologize. I know I went hard on that one comment, but it's like, damn. I know you going off the news, and Anton elaborated. Right. I got finessed by the news. The Terry Parker lied to me, bro. She told me, "Don't worry, I'm gonna let Claude." This is not verbatim, but what they say, paraquoting. She said, "Don't worry. I'm going to let Claude give his sob story, essentially. And then I'm going to say to Claude, but hold on. Carlton, the second investor, is saying a completely different story than yours. And it seems to check out on the property appraiser website. So what about that?" She never aired that part of the interview, bro. Only thing they aired was when I said it's a little murky. It's the nature of our business. That was all part of the clickbait. And then at the end, I was saying he should have got legal representation, which he should have. I didn't have no dealings with that dude.
Okay, so you ain't deal with him at all.
Investor. I bought the house from another investor, bro, with hard money.
So the first investor that they mentioned that had, it sounded like he had like a subject to style deal.
So he's not really a subject to investor. It kind of happened organically. He said, Claude, you about to lose the house. I'm going to catch up the mortgage. I'm going to let you live for free. But then later in the future, we're going to come up with a rental agreement. And he never paid nothing. And guess what? The first investor's like, bro, I'm not finna pay this freaking mortgage, bro. You supposed to be paying it. I'm going to just let the house go into foreclosure. And that's how I found him, on the foreclosure list.
So the first investor assigned it to you? Is that what happened? So the first investor was
No. He sold it to me. He sold it to me outright.
Got you. Okay.
Quick claim
deed. That's what the 185 was.
No, the 185 was to my homie, my partner. I hooked my homie up, bro, with a little lesser price. I said, look, bro, I could wholesale it to you and I make this amount, but let's do this. I'm gonna buy it from him outright. I'll make a little bit more money and you get more meat on the bone. So I bought the house outright from the first investor, which the first investor was facing foreclosure. And the whole $10 thing, that was a quick claim deed he did with Claude.
Right. So how much money did Claude actually make?
Claude made $1,500, bro. But I don't know if you heard, he was not cooperating.
In actuality, Claude made not only the $1,500, but all the months of rent that he didn't pay, which probably was substantial, all that was given to Claude for free. So let's just say that he wasn't just given the $1,500, but he was given free rent for some extraneous amount of time, which caused the house to go back into foreclosure again. So let's not say that Claude wasn't compensated in some way, because we definitely know he was. Let's get back to it.
This is part of the story that the news didn't air. We had to verify because Claude inherited the house from his mother. So he has 3 siblings. I had to verify he had 100% ownership. We had to go through probate documents from early 2000. So once we verified, okay, Claude had 100% ownership, he signed it over to the first investor. Then I said, all right, check this out, bro. It's a headache. You got your own life. You can't deal with it. Here, I'll give you this amount. And that's what happened.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, so at that point, I said, hey, check it out, bro. Don't even worry about Claude. Right now, he's a tenant because he don't even own the house. He signed the house away 2 years ago. Really, he's a squatter / holdover tenant. I'm going to give him cash for keys, bro. Make life easier for you. Less headache. That's where the whole $1,500 came in. I offered him $8,000. His boyfriend said, don't take it, because his boyfriend claimed he's a realtor and he know the law.
Okay.
So it's a lot of layers to it, bro. But essentially, Claude was a tenant. He never owned the house when I came in the picture. I had
so essentially, you're saying that by the time you came into the picture, Claude never even owned the house.
Exactly.
You saying that the news finessed you and that they only air part of the story in order to try to paint a narrative. But then Brent Trapp, he can't be held accountable either, because he's going by off the limited information off the news.
Yeah, that was literally my first time seeing it. Somebody sent it to me, and then I was like, I'm gonna just do it, live on the video or whatever. And that was my first time seeing it.
Yeah. So listen. I mean, in my opinion, I think it could be, everybody is still cool. And, it's just a misunderstanding. The people that we need to actually be going off after is the news. We don't need to be beefing with each other. We need to be beefing with the news companies. That's finessing.
And like I was telling you, bro, the story it went viral first on regular news companies. I have people from all over the country started DMing me on Facebook saying, I saw this on my local news. What the hell? You a scumbag, you this, you that. And those news companies, they're rewording the title outright to get more views. And I'm like, oh my God. So I reach out to Terry Parker right there, and I say, hey Terry, you got to do right and do a follow-up story and get the real story out, because you only aired like 2 sentences of mine. Everything I'm telling y'all boys, I told on the camera, bro. My girl recorded the whole conversation. She got it on her phone. Everything I'm telling y'all boys, I told Terry Parker. They aired none of it, bro. And she told me she was going to air that part. So now I look like the bad guy. I'm like, Terry, I really don't have to do this story. The only reason I'm doing the story is because there are bad deals where people are getting scammed. And Claude was going to spray my name anyway. So I was like, let me just rebut him right there on the camera. And I have I got all the documents and facts to back me that he didn't get scammed. And no one gave him $10 for his house because he never owned it.
Information you can.
So that's the whole scam with the, I'm sorry, not the scam, but the finesse with the news. They just completely lied.
Between people.
So now my attorney is handling that though.
Work together.
But don't worry, by tomorrow morning, I'm gonna do a whole segment on that scumbag news company.
Bro, I was trying to reach out. I don't know the laws. Like locally, can other news channels report about other news channels? Locally, I don't know. I was gonna go to another media outlet and be like, look, man,
I'll go after them myself. We don't listen. We ain't got to worry about waiting on nobody to go after them. I'll go after them myself because I think it's unfortunate that they tried to do you like this and then everything usually just compounds. But I'm glad that y'all was able to jump on the panel and kick it with each other amicably. And hopefully we squash everything and everything is cool amongst all of us.
I mean, yeah, I'll take the video down. But like I said, I didn't know who you were my first time seeing you. I think we have mutual associates like Guru. I know you probably know Mark from up here with me.
UFC review show.
But yeah, I'll take it down. But honestly, like I didn't know who you were my first time even seeing it for real. So
I know. See, that's the issue. You don't know me, and you see the news story. You're like, what the hell? $10 for 185.
Music video beat.
It's like, wait a minute, this can't really happen. And then a lot of people think I wholesaled it.
No, it's
like,
cool.
They're giving a bad name to wholesale.
Listen, you good. We'll figure out how we can get at this news company, and anything you need from me, bro, just let me know and we can rock out.
No, I appreciate you for bringing on me here, man. I'm a big fan of yours. I'm subscribed to both your channels. I watch you on the Peef all the time. Me and my girl, we sit back. Yeah, she right here.
Hey, you gotta ride it down over there too.
Hi, you're the real deal.
He was riding. He was riding for her, homie. Yeah, I see you.
Yeah,
right,
man.
I appreciate you for coming through, fam. You know I love you, man. And I
appreciate the love, man.
Yeah, man, I love it, bro. I follow all your Instagram stuff and everything. So we gotta us as men and you know, young men and dudes that's doing it and on to come up with these platforms. That's gonna be awesome. I know you Trap, you about to be approaching 100,000 soon.
Salute.
We gotta work. We gotta figure out how we can work more effectively together when we find out new information that allows us to be able to make more informed decisions. But shout out to you, Trap. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for coming through, fam.
All right, thanks for the love, man. I'll be watching as always.
Yep.
All right, peace out.
All right, Carlton. Thanks, bro.
All right.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is how you then handle this effectively. Now,
and that, my friends, is how you mediate a conflict between two young gentlemen who just didn't have all the information. Please take the opportunity to check out Anton Daniels on any and all of his podcasts. One of the great YouTubers, great poignant points and great ideas to live by. Definitely check out his Millionaire Morning Show, the Anton Daniels Show, and Fight Club, as well as check out his Patreon and his Discord. I'm your boy Chris Surratt. That is our episode of Black Real Estate Now. Check us out next week, where we'll be talking about home ownership in the Midwest. And check out our new show, UFC Review, where we'll be checking out UFC 286 results. And I am your boy Chris, and I am out.
Stepping stone, a stepping stone. They only see me as a stepping stone, a stepping stone, a stepping stone. Had to show 'em not that nigga to